putting the band back together.
We're on a mission from God.
Oh man, it's so good to see everybody. At a safe distance, that is.
Did I activate Zoom?
Zoom has different layouts, so go ahead and play around with the view on your screen while we chat.
60% of the time, it works every time.
Putting the band back together. We need you, man.
Folks, for just $800 a day, you can have yourselves a new brain.
That doesn't make any sense.
You can't trip on my synthesizer. Electronic club for every boy and every girl. You can't trip on my synthesizer. Alien technology until the world is set us free.
It saddens and hurts me. Young men whom I raised to believe in the 10 Commandments have returned with filthy mouths and bad attitudes.
We ruined the Zoom!
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
It looks like I've just been given a challenge. And as we all know, my new brain loves a challenge. New brain!
All right, new Brainiacs. This is the one you've been waiting for. You've tweeted for it. You've demanded it. You've Facebooked about it. Emailed. Live journal comments. Made Zanga top 5 requests. And finally, after 15 long years, the greatest, the most important, the single dumbest socially distant radio reunion collides on Zoom for one night only. Let's say hi to the cast of characters.
Hey, how's everyone doing? Balsacatus from Westmont, New Jersey here. Pretty excited about this WEXP reunion-ish. Happy to be here.
Hey everybody, you just heard Paul, but let's everybody else do theirs like they've spoken before. If you could, if you spoke in words. Glad to be back. Glad to see you all in these squares.
I will do it as though I've never spoken before. Things are going great. I've got a pony. I'm here in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Moved so far, and the work equation is 4 times distance, so I'm the laziest motherfucker here.
What's up, folks? This is Leo coming to you from the Sunshine State. Where's that, Florida? I don't fucking care. Very excited to be back here. Going to be doing some monkey knife fighting sports commentary later, so yeah.
Kev Kettner, say hi.
Hello, I graduated already, so is it cool if I use my expired parking pass? Like, I'm not gonna get a ticket. Like, this is like legit, right?
A little too legit, my friend. We got a Mike Muller on the line.
You, Mike here.
Tell them how you're a communist now.
Yeah, if we're fully doing the who we were in 2003 versus who we are now routine, that's I've certainly walked many miles.
Yeah, you have the tallest redemption arc, I would say.
Fair enough.
Oh,
Ernesto Che Muller.
Hang on.
I got you. What do you need? You need me to update the group on where I've been? I got a child rocking on my knee.
A martini.
You called me at an inopportune time. Yeah, it's good to be here, everybody. Thanks a lot for carving out a little slice of your quarantine life to be here on WEXP, LaSalle University Radio, 5:30 a.m. WEXP.
Yo, Hislop, are you doing homework to make this more authentic? I saw a textbook.
Is this on Netscape browser?
So what I was currently doing is just sending private chats to various members of the group to make sure that they're staying on topic, because that's what a producer does. And I don't mind if you drift a little bit, but I just have to rein it in sometimes.
That's right.
Live from the commuter lounge, we got George Giles in the center square. What's happening, Giles?
I'm just here to be awkward in the background and to ask you guys to sign me into your dorm room so I can hang out for a little bit, sleep on your couch.
So, Jazz, you still got that 3-in-1 tournament table in the commuter lounge or what?
Dude, I haven't been there so long. I have no idea what's between the shitters and the basement anymore.
Come on, man. You commuters have a weekly meeting.
Glad
Yeah,
Giles
it's funny because
just that.
Giles his video feed's a little late, and so you hear the Giles laugh, but he's just sitting there with like no expression on his face.
It's so good.
Yo,
Who the
Giles,
hell's that?
how you living? You got a plant or what?
What the f- is going on Muller's head?
Yeah, who is that?
I'm the last honest man in Britain, leader of the opposition, Jeremy Corbyn.
Jesus Christ! Why?
You read too much news, dude.
Oh my God! You're like me, Benjamin Buttoning.
Yo, is that a virtual effect or is that like literally a cardboard cutout?
I got it in London. It's
Oh, nice. How's everyone feeling?
Unemployed.
Oof.
Nah, I feel good, man.
Yeah, it's June of 2020. We're quarantined from the coronavirus. A lot of us don't know what our job situation is going to be moving forward, so we're here tonight to descend into college-style radio like it's 2005 again. Let's start the show with a little public service announcement. We were required to play a certain number of PSAs, so it's good to get those out of the way at the beginning. And then we'll get into a little monkey knife fighting and other sports commentary. This PSA is courtesy of Dano. As you remember, he had a really aggressive drum and bass electronica show called Needle to the Groove. And even though we were required to do PSAs, we rarely just did what we were supposed to do without kicking and screaming. So here's an example of a public service announcement Dano might have played so that he could satisfy the broadcast requirements without imposing on the full quantity of tooth-rattling breaktronica to force down our gullets each and every week. Live on Salle Radio WEXP.
Why should I vote? Nothing ever changes. The system is rigged. Why bother? Whether you're trying to get dinner on the table after working a double shift, dropping baby off with grandma, or studying for exams, voting can feel like the furthest thing from your mind. You might even feel like it's just not worth it. But that's exactly what some people want you to think. The truth is, when we stay home, things stay the same or they get worse. But when we all vote, we get new ideas and new energy. We get leaders who share our values and listen to our voices. That's how we change America. And that's why it's so important to register right now and vote this November. And in every election, go to whenweallvote.org or text We All Vote to 97779 to get started. And know that your vote will make a difference. Be sure to get registered and get to the polls on November 6th.
Run that! New brain!
Is this the sound you hear in your head when you see the Spotify logo? Maybe you've never noticed that the Spotify logo is kind of crooked. That would make you normal. But if you have, and you hate it, and you have a custom-made patch of the word kerning and the letters are improperly spaced as a joke, you might suffer attention to detail. But what if you've never even noticed that anything has a logo? What if faces look like crayon drawings to you? What if you didn't notice that you had purchased and worn a shirt that was so heinously patterned that it gave someone permanent shingles? Coming to Netflix, a 10-part series. One man has an eye for detail. The other doesn't. And sometimes the two of them hang out. This is the story of how once, 15 years ago, they made a sock puppet video together.
I've got a new brain!
The simple joys of
football!
Thrust, tackle, step.
Basketball!
Pirates got your yacht!
baseball if it's late April and we didn't think this whole idea through?
Well, I suppose some mishaps are unavoidable.
Hockey as long as punches are being thrown.
Oh, he ain't pretty no more.
Tennis, never.
What?
It's monkey knife fighting and other sports commentary.
George, what have they done to your beautiful face?
With your hosts, Tecmo Sage State Abuser and Brian Dawkins apologist, Justin Leo. And he only recently started figuring any of this out, but blindly loves all Pittsburgh teams anyway, Dano Solovia.
Smithers, this monkey's going to need most of your skin.
What's up, boys? We're joined here 16 years after our last show. We're ready again for some monkey knife fighting and other sports commentary. Sports, don't really know what they are anymore. Haven't really been happening, but some things change and some things always stay the same. Dano, how you holding up?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm excited that this is probably the best prepared we've ever been for an episode of this show.
It's true. Dano, earlier this month, Baltimore Ravens safety Earl Thomas was briefly held at gunpoint by his wife after she discovered him in bed with his own brother and 2 other women. What is the best pun here involving the word safety?
Justin, I think it's got to be Department of Player Safety. All right, what I got for you, several college football experts believe Penn State has a good chance of winning the Big Ten and making their first appearance in the college football playoffs if play resumes in the fall. Are you still rooting for the Nittany Lions?
No. I know how hard it is. You know, my dad's family was really big Penn State fans, and, you know, they're all Italian. So growing up, Paterno was really just the, second highest guy in our house besides the Pope. Hey, who knew how they had so much in common?
Who indeed?
Yikes!
Number 2, Dano. Mike Tyson released a video on social media this week teasing a comeback to the ring. Whose children do you want to see him eat the most?
I'm not absolutely sure how many kids they have between them, but I just fucking die to see a handicap match, Tyson versus McGregor and Mayweather. Now, as far as basketball goes, ESPN filled its lack of NBA playoff time with a documentary called The Last Dance, chronicling the end of Michael Jordan's career with the Bulls. Do you have any questions that they didn't manage to get to regarding his airness?
Yeah. I already knew most of that stuff, so I only really have one question. Michael Jordan versus all those spring breakers a couple weeks ago who went back to live with their elderly parents. Who had more fun getting their dads killed?
Oh. I like it.
Speaking of Chicago, the Bears brought in our boy Big Dick Nick Foles to have an open competition with the very maligned incumbent Mitchell Trubisky for their starting quarterback spot. What are fans saying about Trubisky now?
I'm not exactly certain, but I'm pretty sure Mike Myers is making a bunch of kielbasa jokes. The Eagles didn't make any big trades or free agent signings to boost their receiver core, opting to draft yet another wideout, Rhaegar Targaryen, in the first round. Do you trust what the Birds are doing?
You know, the last time we ran this show in the spring of 2004, the Eagles were just coming off a hard playoff loss in which we criticized the receivers. So no, time is a flat circle. We are all going to die here. Dan,
not wrong.
A damn fight opened last year called Monkey Knife Fight. We could sue, but we probably all we get is extra debt at this point. So, would you rather play Daily Fantasy NASCAR or UFC? Those are our only options right now.
I mean, one of the kind of big secrets that I never bothered to tell anybody is that I was betting on lethal car wrecks back in 2004, so it wouldn't be a strange thing to me. Professional sports media is having a hard time these days. This week, I saw a story on The Athletic titled, quote, ranking every game the 2019-2020 Red Wings lost by 4 or more. What's the graspiest story you've seen run during the pandemic?
Definitely the Korean baseball stuff. I don't know why people are watching Korean baseball. I haven't watched American baseball since the Phils were good. I haven't watched American baseball since A-Rod was shining Jeter's ass, not J-Lo's.
True.
Oh, yeah.
Lastly, Dano, tell me exactly how many f***ing Stanley Cups the Penguins have won since we last did our show.
Hey, honestly, I've lost count. It's somebody between like 3 and 7, and I'm pretty sure the Soviet Union won one of those in there somewhere. But hey, whatever. Embarrassment of riches. For you, however, both the NBA and NHL are still planning to have their postseason tournaments eventually, even if they occur on neutral sites and in front of 0 fans. Which Philly team's first-round elimination are you most excited to watch?
Oh, the Sixers. They have been butt on the road this year, so if they're not in Philly and they won't be, they're going to die. But I am looking forward to Mike Scott getting into a fight with a fan, even though there aren't any. He'll find a way.
Nice. I gotta say, it's been a fucking pleasure being back in the booth with you.
It has. Fuck you, Shorzy.
Hey,
Shorzy. Give your balls a tug, you tit fucker.
New brain!
This goes out to my girl Jules. Favorite actor, Dennehy. Favorite drink, old Doles. Bears, Hawks, Sox, Bulls. Say goodbye a little longer like I ate a piece of Big Red. Grew a mustache the size of Mike Dicker's forehead. Hair comb to the side, looking like a piece of foam. Buick speakers, red cooler. 85 Bear Zubas, Polish sausage, bratwurst. Walking like my cockers. Stacey Adams, no shirt. Jules to get a case of squirt. Wife's pissed cause I forgot to get the minute rice. So I'm back in the damn Buick to get a stinking bag of ice. To get a stinking bag of rice. My wife Jules is cute. Her taste really moved me like I ate juicy fruit. Had me dancing like Chris Penn and Footloose. 85 Walter Rules, old style pack of crews. Go to Ace, no tolls and weed whacker fuel. 85 Bear Zubas, Stacey Adams got ruined for the basement sump pump. Shop vac, clean up, cook brats, cook chops. Your heat shouldn't be that hot. Keep your juices in the chops, keep your juices in the brats. Serve them on paper plates, tater salad and grape pop. My favorite actor was Dennehy long before he played night. When Behringer was a substitute, everything was going right. Even after Jordan left and Dave Corzine retired. Sean Dunstan's wild throws and Mike Ditka got fired. Favorite actor Dennehy, favorite drink old Doles. Bears, Hawks, Sox, Bulls. Play softball with the guys. Wife made curly fries. Drank about 4 Doles. Grounded out 2 pop flies. In the Buick down Western. Stop and get some more brats. On sale chicken, Italian sausages, orange pop. This week fishing trip. Gotta get some new flies. Wife packed turkey subs, Jay's chips and peach pies. Watch a little Dennehy. Pull out the laser disc. Sniper 1, 2, and 3. Behringer makes great flicks. Listen to the shuffle. Rewind Richard Ditt's part. Damn, I left those orange pops in the trunk of the Skylark. Sneak a couple old Doles. Shit, there's my damn wife. You know, honey, I'll be back. I gotta get some more ice. Back in the damn Buick. I should go to the damn bar. I saw Ditka once in the Eatons in a sports car. Favorite actor, Dennehy. Favorite drink, old Doles. Bears, Hawks, Sox, Bulls. Play a little poker. Spend time with the wife. Take her out to Bennigan's. See if they cook chops right. Go and get a laser disc. Projection screen TV. Portillo's Italian beef and a movie starring Tommy B. Back in the damn Buick. Cut on WCKG. Caught a song by Glenn Fry and an interview with Dennehy. So I'm driving down Western Ave. Think I'm gonna stop at Zayre's. Got a splitting freaking headache, so I popped a couple bears. So I'm back in the damn Buick. Think I need an oil check. The baddest of George Thorogood smoke stoves on my deck. Read the sports section. Bears and their O-line. Trying to find a decent Fiero with a for sale sign. Cut on WCKG. Huey Lewis and the news. The heart of rock and roll is still beating. Bears lose. Favorite actor Dennehy. Favorite drink all Doles. Bears, Hawks, Sox, Bulls. Favorite day Sunday. Favorite team the Bears. Favorite store Ventures. Sayers. Favorite show Danza. Also the news. Weatherman Skillin. Music the blues. Favorite actor Dennehy. Favorite drink all Doles. Bears, Hawks, Sox, Bulls. If I was coach of the Bears, we'd at least get 10 wins. Dennehy on your line, Behringer at tight end. Behringer favorite actor Dennehy, favorite drink all Doles. Bears, Hawks, Sox, Bulls. Favorite actor Farina, Andrew, tons, brats, chops, dogs, they're done. Bears, Hawks, Sox, Bulls. Favorite actor Farina, dandruff, tons, brats, chops, dogs, they're done. Favorite coach, Ditka. Vacation place, Wisconsin. Sausage, Johnson. Chicken, Swanson's. Other actor, Behringer. Linebacker, Buckus. Chopped peppers, tomatoes, onions, 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 onions. Favorite Mayor Daly. Cigarettes, Coles. Stanley makes great goals. Favorite Judge Mathis. Favorite drink, Old Doles. Hawks, Cubs, Bears, Bull. Favorite Tower Sears. Favorite song to shuffle. J's, Fritos, Doritos, Ruffles, 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 Ruffles.
Hey, new Brainiacs. This bit you're about to hear in just a few minutes requires a little bit of explanation. It was senior year, and Mueller says, well, what if we did a show called FDR for Franklin Delano Radio? So I said, well, I'll produce it, but you have to be the on-air talent. I'm not joining you on the air. You're gonna live by the sword and die by the sword. So what we did was, and I can't believe episodes of this still exist in the archives somewhere, we printed out full, actual fireside chats by Franklin Roosevelt, and once every 3 paragraphs or so, I would change one sentence to be utterly fantastical. So, but you would have to be paying attention to notice it, because it'd be like, yada yada yada, the economy, yada yada yada, attacks from the flying spaghetti monster, etc. But here's the thing about the show. The sound effect that I borrowed from the comm building was something like a 45-second loop of crackling fire, and I had to play it live in the background. We couldn't just edit it in because the show was live, and so we would simply play the CD track of the crackling fire sound on repeat. However, there would be like a 3-second pause at the end of the track, and it would loop back to the beginning. Well, Mueller would get bored reading the actual fireside chats for so long that he would start to get insanely distracted every time the fire sound effect loop would restart, and it would get to the point where he would yell in character at the imaginary White House staffer who was in charge of stoking the flame and keeping the fire going for his radio broadcast. So it was one of the finer clusterfucks I've been involved with, and to do the shtick justice, we just went with live sound effects in the Zoom meeting, which I controlled while he was doing his bit. Obviously, we're not going to do an entire fireside chat for this reunion episode, but Mueller's going to rant in character while I play with the knobs and the crackling fire effect. So, stay tuned for that and much more New Brain Radio right after these messages.
Because I get excited every time I come to a new town. Because I know I'm going to give folks a new brain that's powerful, explosive, and a real competitor.
Are tied up in gold doubloons. What if the market changes?
I can't get excited about the plank anymore. I used to blame the scurvy, but now I know it's me.
Maybe I need another parrot.
'Tis a fool's game you're playing.
It sounds like you guys just aren't having any fun. What you need to do is spend a little time for yourselves. Drink some grog, bury some treasure, enjoy. New brain!
You're muted, dick shit.
You muted your own self.
Ryan, you have to hit the unmute. You unmute it, you hit it, you press the button, you unmute it.
All right, Paul Sakitas, mute for the rest of the show. All right, speaking of Paul Sakitas, we finally got Sufjan Stevens albums.
Well, yeah, actually, it's kind of surprising that 15 years gone by and he decides to do New Jersey. Just seemed to be a running topic with tonight. Whoa. And it's like, got an advanced copy, and honestly, it's like 3 LPs, 2 SACDs, 1 Blu-ray DVD combo pack, and there's a single. I don't need all this media. Just put it on Apple Music if you're Kevner, or Spotify if you're everyone else. The first half is your usual pastoral prog that you're going to expect from the Detroit hipster. But honestly, the second half, which is mostly covers of Frank Sinatra, Bon Jovi, Bruce, not Springsteen, but Bruce Willis. This is what he's grabbing for at this point. It's kind of pathetic, if you ask me. So I give it 3 new brains out of 5. And I gotta say, he's got not a whole lot of time left to live to get rid of the 47 states that he still has to do to live up to his contract, which I signed. So I'm waiting.
Sorry.
I'm going to attack Guam on if he doesn't get it going.
Mr. Sakidis, do you believe that Sufjan Stevens will finish all 50 states before George R.R. Martin finishes one more book?
Yes.
Oh, good question. Never gonna happen.
It's a one-word answer, which was yes, yeah. There's a lot of short answers coming from me tonight, I'm just saying.
What was it like representing Sufjan Stevens in a record deal?
I don't know. He had to wear like butterfly wings. It was like, why are you wearing that to this contract signing? You know, just bring a pen, dude.
All right.
34th richest man in Gloucester County.
For I own not one, but 3 Pep Boys franchises in Gibbstown, New Jersey.
Truer words were never spoke. All right. I think there's a presidential check-in to be happening here at some point.
Yes. What do you want, Dr. Kerry? What can I do for you, sir?
Well, I guess we're all curious, Mr. Roosevelt, to hear your thoughts on the state of the union.
It's an interesting union, to be sure. There's a down Cheeto in the White House. Have you heard about this? I'm joined tonight by my friend Kevin Eubanks. Have you seen this? Have you heard about this? There's a dang Cheeto in the White House because he's orange and he cheats. I've got Ellen writing my...
Stoke that flame.
Stoke the fire! Stoke the fire! There's not supposed to be a fire during the monologue. Fire.
Radio monologue?
Well, I can't hear you over the fire. It's so hot.
Which president is it?
What president are you talking about, Mr. Skaters?
President Cobblepot.
Is this Bedford Falls?
I'm 32nd President Franklin Delano Roosevelt. They stole my image from Mr. Potter for that movie with George Bailey. I was dead when that came out in 1946. I've been dead a year and a half. I'll rest my soul. But I'm back now. I was frozen. I'm here to give a fireside chat. All right, now that the fire's going nice and hot. So all of you young whippersnappers, you fine Anglo-Saxons, you wrote yourselves letters from the past. So, my fireside chat tonight is... stoke the fire! Stoke it! I heard it going down! No, my fireside chat tonight is a fireside chat I would have written if I was a better president. If I was the president America deserved. Here we go. And just for some historical context, let's pretend for a second that this is a statement I'm giving in court upon being convicted of violating the Sedition Act on September 18th of 1918. Here we go. Your Honor, years ago, I recognized my kinship with all living beings. Stoke the fire! Stoke it for the kinship of all living beings. And I made up my mind that I was not one bit better than the meanest on earth. The meanest little bastard on earth. And I say now that while there is a lower class, I am in it. And while there is a criminal element, I am of it. And while there is a soul in prison, I am not free. And just because I'm married to Eleanor, you folks know what it's like not being free if you're married to Eleanor. Very good, then. I listened to all that was said in this court in support and justification of this prosecution, but my mind remains unchanged. I look upon the Espionage Act as a despotic enactment of flagrant conflict with democratic principles and with the spirit of free institutions. So, Your Honor, I have stated in this court that I am opposed to the social system in which we live. That I believed in a fundamental change, but if possibly by peaceable and orderly means. Standing here this morning, I recall my boyhood. At 14, I went to work at a railroad shop. Stoke the fire about the railroad shop! No one's going to understand the context without the fire!
Do you want white birch or cedar on the log?
I want white birch. It burns hot and dry and has that crackle I like. All right, yeah. At 14, I went to work in a railroad shop. At 16, I was firing a freight engine on the railroad. I remember all the hardships and privation of that earlier day, and from time to time, my heart has been with the working class. I could have been in Congress long ago, but I prefer to go to prison. I am thinking this morning of the men in the mills and the factories, of the men in the mines and on the railroads. I am thinking... Better stoke that goddamn fire.
We only have fine pine or arborvitae.
Fire, put it in. Put your goddamn thumb in for all I care. It'll burn just as hot. I am thinking of the women for whom a paltry wage are compelled to work for their barren lives. Of the little children who in this system are robbed of their childhood and their tender years are seized in the remorseless grasp of mammon and forced into the industrial dungeons. There to feed the monstrous machines while they themselves are being starved and stunted, body and soul. I see them dwarfed and diseased and... I see them dwarfed and diseased and their lives are broken and blasted because in this height...
The gas went out.
I put it back on! I see them dwarfed and diseased and their lives broken and blasted because of this high noon of Christian civilization. Money is still so much more important than the flesh and blood of childhood. In the very truth, gold is God today and rules with pitiless sway in the affairs of men. So say I, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. That was absolutely not a statement from Eugene Debs, who should have been president in my stead.
There's a family of possums in the flue pipe.
Yo, so Mueller, I thought of a good idea for an app.
Mueller is not here right now. You're speaking to the 37th president. You, Mr. President, will be fine.
Roosevelt, a new app tries to get kids to learn history by getting an insane historical reenactor to read them like kind of dry historical addresses, but like the kids have to play with buttons on their phones, terrorize the president into like states of agitation. You know, like it's kind of the most fun you can have with a computer.
I suppose you could you could try something like that with me, but Dr. Carey, I must warn you, the only thing that would agitate me into a sense of agitation is the celestial.
Well, I actually have something that might agitate the shit out of all you guys right now. We got a little drop in from our friends Hack and Brady, who heard we were doing like a little video get together on this audio channel. Decided to drop a little promo on us. I haven't listened to these yet, but let's.
Is that all you need from me then, Dr. Carey? I can get Mr. Mueller back here on the line.
Yeah, I mean,
it's all the same to you. I'm gonna go stuff Eleanor like the Supreme Court.
That was beautiful. All right, let's see what our friends Hack and Brady have to say.
Well, it's the 15-year anniversary of 40 Shades of Grey, whatever that is. New Brain Radio, that's a dumb name. And I think you all started with something called Rockin' in the Free Period, which we then improved, of course, and made Free Period Friday. The thing is, even 15 years later, you're still riding coattails, you're still not talented. As you know, I'm, of course, the $250,000 man, Patrick Hackett. And it's just amazing that your taste in music is still absolute garbage. Probably still listening to Pearl Jam, Vitality. Ooh, what a great album. But seriously, it's absolutely amazing. You're all still getting together 15 years later. I love and cherish the bonds I made at WEXP. When I saw Kev Kettner at Comic-Con, it was honestly one of the top moments that I had in a long time at that point in time. It's really great you guys are getting together. Enjoy yourselves and keep on rocking in the free period.
What's up, NBR Nation? This is Kevin Brady, former host of Steel Cage Radio, Free Period Friday, and the legendary voice of WEXP, checking in to wish a very happy anniversary to the boys of New Brain Radio. In many ways, I feel like a proud papa watching his little boy read from the Torah and become a man. Why, if it weren't for my firm-handed leadership, these knuckleheads never would have cultivated the audience that they have today. It wouldn't be a lie to say that I taught Kettner and Hislop everything that they know about radio, and Ryan everything that he knows about pleasing a woman. So join me in a hearty mazel tov to these fellas for still recording mediocre entertainment after 15 long years. And Ryan, you can send my payment to my PayPal account. Have a great show, fellas.
That kind of took a turn for the fraternal, for the sincere at the end. I don't know how I feel about that, but big shout out to Hack and Brady. We appreciate you guys dropping in on our audio party here.
Do they have anything to plug?
I don't. You know they would if they did.
Disney probably.
Kevner, what was the Comic-Con? Something from this year? Or?
No, it was a couple of years ago.
Okay. What was the big attraction that year?
I was working. I don't remember.
The big attraction was Kevner.
I was getting paid, bro.
Anna, you're not social distancing?
Dano was spreading disease out there.
Yeah, he's a prick.
New brain!
Welcome to the audio book of Disaster Bed Canopy Plan by Ted Wright. This recording is brought to you by Stamps.com. This recording is also brought to you by Audible.com. This recording is also brought to you by Wright Brand Chemical Toilets. In a true emergency, never rely on the grid. The grid will let you down. This recording is also brought to you by Solar Panel Battery Cell, division of Personal Turbine Survival Cell, Disaster Ltd. This recording is also brought to you by Grid Plan Crib Flan. If there's a food shortage, don't get caught without extract grade canned flan. As you know, emergency relief aid from federal and state agencies are only required to provide retail grade canned flan for relief grade disaster plans. Grid Plan Crib Flan provides the extract quality flan you trust to keep all your loved ones, young and old, in peak grid shutdown crib management for can shortage flan plans. Please visit our sponsors at solarflan.gov, www.solargenerators.com/shutdown, and www.survivalknives.flan. This audiobook is also brought to you by Adhesive Bandage brand gauze pads and Flashlight brand Simple Machines, providing the simplest possible machines for post-industrial shutdown. Thanks for listening to this recording of Disaster Bed Canopy Plan by Ted Wright. Beds and bedding are important. In case of grid shutdown, don't let your sleep number be infinity. Chapter 1. Canopy Bed Disaster Flan. We'll begin immediately following this message from our many sponsors.
All right, in 2005, a few of us wrote letters to our future selves to be opened in 15 years and read on the air. Producer Kevin Hislop was good enough to save them in a special tin box and drive around and drop them off in our mail slots a few days ago. Let's see what naive things 2005 radio DJs had to say to present-day us. Dear Future Doctor, it's 2005. When you're reading this in 2020, the president is probably someone crazy like Al Franken or Ross Perot. You probably have robot servants to sweep the floor and read you the news in the morning. But let me ask your advice on a dilemma. I've been rewatching Back to the Future Part 2, as you know I like to do. I'm getting really paranoid about the butterfly effect and screwing up future timelines. You probably won't remember this, but I just got that email from your cousin who works at the zoo in Texas, and he has offers from 2 different zoos to purchase a 3-year-old silverback gorilla. One offer from the San Diego Zoo, and one from the Cincinnati Zoo and Botanical Gardens. I'm leaning towards telling him San Diego, but what the hell should I know? I might just not get back to him. I hate it when he does this. He's bored at work, uses me like a magic 8-ball. Do your job, dude. In the meantime, I just got my hands on a stack of Ken's Honey Mustard Cups from the Student Union, so I'm headed to Chicken Finger State Zoo right here in Philadelphia. Sincerely, Dr. Carey, circa 2005. Okay, younger doctor. For the love of all that's holy, do not let Harambe go to the Cincinnati Zoo. Yes, I know his name. We all know his name. He gets murdered live on iPhone. After that, David Bowie and Prince both peace out, and reality has been a turbulent shit show ever since. We literally have rich Biff Tannen for president. It's so similar to the movies, it's actually kind of insulting. And that's not even the worst of it. I won't alarm you with the details, because it's all existentially deflating and mentally discouraging. But you were right. A lot has changed. For example, you have a CPAP machine now, and a bidet. A CPAP machine is basically when one of your robot servants has to give you mouth-to-mouth CPR all night to keep your fat neck from choking your throat like you owe the bed money. And a bidet is simply how to turn a toilet paper shortage into sanitary independence. Why is there a toilet paper shortage, you ask? Well, what's that line from Ghostbusters? Ray, if someone asks if you should send a gorilla to Cincinnati, you say no. Dude, I know it's 2005 and you have a dorm room full of Ken's honey mustard packets that you collected during Kleptember, and you think this is as good as life gets. Well, it's gonna be as good as life gets by far if you don't get your cousin on the phone, you know, your cousin Marvin Carey, and tell him that the Cincinnati Zoo and Botanical Gardens can go f*** themselves. Sincerely, Dr. Carey, circa 2020.
Gentlemen, we must do something about this immediately! Immediately! Harumph, 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 harumph! I didn't get a harumph out of that guy. Give the governor harumph. Harumph! You watch your ass.
Okay, dear future self. No, I wrote this back in 2005. We were obsessed with top 5 lists, so I wrote a top 5 questions to my future self. Number 1, what's it like having a long and lucrative career in print journalism? And are you relieved that you didn't have to settle for working for a website? Question number 2, is your ironic t-shirt game still world class? Number 3, what was it like going to your 100th Pearl Jam concert? Number 4, is it nice that all your college friends eventually moved out of South Jersey so you don't have to drive there anymore? Get out of here. Number 5, last question. This is an easy one. It's really just a gimme so you can gloat in 15 years. Were you ever vindicated for your principled hard no on Facebook back at the end of senior year? Okay. All right. And there's just one more line here. It just says, got to go spend the rest of my food plan at La Salad Bowl. Oh, boy. Good questions, past Nick. Look, kid, you should have known that print was dead when Egon Spengler said it after a year after you were born. Ironic t-shirts jumped the shark. They sell Milli Vanilli shirts at Target now. Irony itself died with print, even though Kevner still does his best. You heard a new song from your precious Pearl Jam on the radio while you were getting your teeth cleaned at the dentist and didn't even know who the band was. Live shows start too late. As for all your other college buddies, they still live in South Jersey, like all of them, like a block away from each other. Hislop moved to South Jersey on purpose.
Yeah.
He delivered me beer.
Not Leo, though. He could never leave the seals. I know that doesn't make sense to you now. I know that doesn't make sense to you now, but you could just think of the seals as his new fish. Unsurprisingly, Dano still lives in Bethlehem. I think he lives at the Walkery. Lastly, as for Facebook and whether time proved you right, no, everyone agrees it's awesome and perfect, and all the platforms that came after it are even more flawless, and none of your high and mighty concerns about the fate of privacy in an increasingly digital world ever came true. They did make a pretty solid movie out of it, though.
Hey-o.
Oh, okay. Sorry, there was one more. There was actually one more question written on the back. It says, weird question, but did you ever get good enough at making food to win a guacamole contest?
All right.
Oh, pass, Nick. All you do is win guac contests. if you went one-on-one with Sakitas and he had months to plan and grow all the ingredients from his own garden, and all you got was the 10-year-old scraps from the back of Carrie's pantry, you'd still win while Sakitas was too busy obsessing over how much white pepper to put in it.
You bastard.
Well, I hope that answers all your questions, future Nick. Past Nick.
Outstanding. And his producer Kevin Hislop, I love the polite golf clap in icon form instead of interrupting the feed. That was hilarious.
That's how he does.
Just behind the scenes, all right? So I didn't even write a letter.
Yeah, Hislop's a producer, man. You got to stop putting him on the air like this.
That's what a producer does. Produces.
All right, Mike Muller, what do you got for us?
I didn't do it.
Okay. Kev Kettner, what do you got for us?
I emailed myself from 2005. So I had to check Kevy2Heavy at AOL.com today.
Yeah.
Yes.
So here's what I wrote. Dear Kev, how's the band? I'm gonna assume by now that you worked out the paperwork on the record contract you guys were looking at, and then didn't do something stupid like hooking up with one member's ex-girlfriend and another sister, right? If for some reason that hasn't worked out for us, I have to assume that all of that writing you've been doing in your parents' basement has panned out. How many screenplays have you had to produce so far? And where are you living these days? Back in Philly, or did you move to New York or LA? Definitely not New Jersey at this point, haha. It's been about a year since I graduated from college, and I have yet to find a real job. That gets better, right? I mean, I know it'll take time for things to really get good, but everyone always says that once you get your degree, good jobs and money follow shortly. How long will that take? Because honestly, I can't afford my student loans right now. Luckily, the country's economy feels pretty strong. I feel like I have things worked out pretty well so far, so I don't have a ton of advice to ask. I just want to say hi, and if you could just say hi to Mom and Dad for me, that would be great.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God.
Brutal.
That's right. He knows
I need a minute, guys. Go to the next one.
Okay, this is from 2004, Dano. It says, Dear future self, I don't really need any advice. I just need assurance that these half gloves are still going to be in style in 2020. Too sincerely, present and best self. Present and best self? The answer is yes.
My letter that I wrote back in 2004 was pretty simple. Basically, number one, did I make it? Number two, is California fun? And number three, did I ever get laid?
Awesome.
I basically just got a reply to this. Turns out that no one really wanted to read your woke superhero script. Turns out that's a thing that you don't even want to talk about right now. No one also thought that your ultra cool, ultra retro, it was as good as one of the first few seasons of The Simpsons spec script. No one wanted to read that either. Turns out like 100 other million socially awkward white guys had the exact same idea. Sorry. California has been okay. I know back then you probably thought like, oh, you're going to get away from all the things going on in Lancaster. But and you probably,
what were those things?
Oh, just, you know,
Lancaster stuff.
Political standings. It's like, oh yeah, California's cool. I'm going to be out here with all the radicals and stuff. California's fucking boring. You're living in a suburban area that's probably even more boring than Lancaster. You're living behind a house with a guy who has a "Don't Tread on Me" flag and a Blue Lives Matter flag. I'll explain to you what those are. You'll find out. You probably think that things are as bad as they can with George W. Bush being president. Let me tell you something. not to, try to make George W. Bush into a good guy. And by the way, people are trying to do that now. So that gives you an idea of how much everything sucks.
It's a dang Cheeto in the White House.
Yeah. The closest you'll ever get to Hollywood is working in the middle of Sunset and Vine, but not for anything important. No, you're going to be telling people you have to go this way or you have to go that way to get to the screening for Adam Sandler's 5th movie in his past 5 years. You're going to be making Excel sheets at 5:30 in the morning every day, and if you fuck up one of those things, the head of marketing at Fox Studios is going to yell at you. And then 2 years later, he's going to come to your office and work for them, so you have to be nice for him every day. So that's the highlight of your time in California. But it's okay. You do get to meet some famous people. You get to shake hands with Phil Hoffman. Don't ask what happens after that.
Oh.
Oof.
You also get to meet pretty much every member of the state except for Michael Ian Black, which actually, as it turns out, is probably a good thing. Not going to get into that either. And you may or may not get to have both a Super Bowl party and a World Series party, although after the Super Bowl party, you won't really care about the World Series party. And at the end, you will end up with a woman who is willing to put up with all your shit. And that's what it's all about, really. And I'm not just saying this because she's sitting right near me.
Can we throw in some reggae air horns in post?
Take that advice as you will.
Fucking Kevin, I love you.
That's classic.
2004 Leo doesn't know what my life is. We lived in a world before. This was a pre-my wife world.
It's true.
Yeah.
I don't want to know that.
Yeah, Leo, that was hilarious. And not to get too meta, but that was exactly the kind of thing that would have been like the funniest part of a regular Salle Radio show that wouldn't have been on the air because no one could see it. Like that's like classic new brain programming right there.
Classic.
It's not how you dance, it's who you know. Dance-a-thon 2005. Dance-a-thon 2005. Dance-a-thon 2005. Dance-a-thon 2005. 2005.
I've got a new brain.
Up periscope. Down periscope.
Hi, Stephen. This is Clem Fandango.
What, the work experience, boy?
Yeah, can you hear me, Stephen?
Yeah, I can hear you, Clem Fandango. Where's that other prick?
Danny. He's DJing at a music festival this weekend.
Yeah, just to be clear, so these will be heard on every submarine in the Royal Navy?
Yeah, they're just automating and digitizing everything. The commander presses a button and the recording of your voice will be heard immediately.
Yeah, I'm not interested in all that. Can we just crack on? Fire the nuclear weapons!
Stephen, that was good. But do you think you could give it another try, this time say it in a less alarming way?
Less alarming? I've just given the order to fire the nuclear weapons. I've just unleashed Armageddon.
Yes, but the feeling here is that you could do it in a way which is a little less dramatic. It's just a little bit over the top at the moment. Have fun with it.
Fire the nuclear weapons!
That was a little bit too far the other way, a bit too jolly. Yeah, when you just try a few more times.
Fire the nuclear weapons! 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 Yeah.
Do you want to move on to the next one, Stephen? We can come back to that later.
Abandon the vessel immediately.
Receipts upon receipts upon receipts. You can't tell me shit. Your girl's got a man bun, son. You can't tell me shit. I got an NPR tote bag. You can't tell me shit. Your Twitter avatar is an egg. You can't tell me shit. I don't even own a television. You can't tell me shit. I got a black belt in Pilates. You can't tell me shit. My phone is on 2% battery. You can't tell me shit. I'm not installing any more updates. mistakes. You can't tell me shit. I already read my horoscope today. You can't tell me shit. I said it behind your back and to your face. You can't tell me shit. I put my life savings in Bitcoin. You can't tell me shit. Your lady thinks that I'm a funny guy. You can't tell me shit. I don't even like the old Kanye. You can't tell me shit. You deleted it, but I got the screenshot. You can't tell me shit. All my tattoos are brand new. You can't tell me shit. I see the timestamp on the photo. You can't tell me shit.
Receipts upon receipts upon receipts is what I have. You give them to the tax man, he scribbles in his pad. Receipts upon 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 receipts.
The earth is flat, prove me wrong.
You can't tell me shit.
2012, Ron Paul.
You can't tell me shit.
My stepdad's the Little League coach.
You can't tell me shit.
I'm 1/16th Cherokee, bro.
You can't tell me shit.
I looked it up on WebMD.
You can't tell me shit.
Once the free trial is over,
you can't tell me shit.
My doctor's surprised I'm still alive.
You can't tell me shit.
Wake up, time to die. You cannot tell me nothing at all. No type of shit can come from you that'll make sense. I have crippling depression sometimes. Well, you should go outside and exercise. You can't tell me shit. The disease insists upon itself. Thanks for the help and reaching out. But you got your foot in your mouth.
And you can't tell me shit.
I show up first and I leave last.
You can't tell me shit.
You pay to be our opening act.
You can't tell me shit.
I know that cupping the mic causes feedback, but I'm an MC and this is how the we act.
You can't tell me shit. Receipts upon 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 receipts. You can't tell me shit.
The book isn't better than the movie.
You can't tell me shit.
I'm a cis white male who checks himself.
You can't tell me shit.
It's pronounced GIF, not JIF.
You can't tell me shit.
My response to everything is Yas Queen.
You can't tell me shit.
EDM DJs are a scam.
You can't tell me shit.
I already offered all my thoughts and prayers.
You can't tell me shit.
What a time to be alive now.
You can't tell me shit.
Threading is the auto-tune of eyebrows.
You can't tell me shit.
New brain.
Just a refresher that the fifth step is a little bit of a thought experiment game that we used to play back in college. The idea is that someone has broken into your house. You are asleep in bed, and you wake up when they come in, and they're on the steps, and you have only that amount of time to think of something that's going to be so frightening to them or creep them out so much that they will just simply turn around and leave instead of stealing your stuff.
Now, as I recall, there was like kind of an addendum where whatever you said couldn't be something that was overtly threatening. Like there's a trebuchet at the top of the stairs that's going to kill you or something.
That's right, because that's not going to work. That's not going to be effective. No threats of violence are going to turn someone around who's already broken into your house. So you have to go to the next level. That's the whole point of the game, is to say something so strange and so disturbing that they decide to cut their losses and get out of there.
Yeah, you want to get into a Jungian psychology that as their foot is coming down on, say, the fifth step, they decide that maybe they should try a different house for reasons they can't quite explain.
Did you just have the titular line?
Started off the fifth step.
Wow. Didn't think I could get that delivered during a pandemic that quickly.
The conch shells have brought another friend. Please stay longer this cycle.
I'm sorry, I hadn't realized we'd run out of velvet.
Any final thoughts on the word prehensile?
Hey Alexa, tell Siri not to get lost again inside my kabuki dolls.
Saunter through my attic for one of John Michael's shawls, if you please.
I scream. You scream. We all scream for centrism.
Acorns in your shoes is just a start.
Would you be able to pass me that penny farthing on your way over? On your way over? On your way over? On your way over? On your way over?
Whoever's coming upstairs, you'll need to train me in Adobe Acrobatics before the clock goes on strike.
sweep me off my feet and lay me down in this bed full of loose Legos.
Actually, I don't know surgery, but I have a lot of knives and a 10-gallon drum of silicone.
In my raincoat, you'll find a list of allergies listed in order of closing stock value.
I learned geology from Ben and Jerry's. My cookie dough coffin is prepared for the sweet sediment.
Ask Nana to elongate Cornelius. Maybe just the eyes this time?
If the master sees you, he's gonna make you be in his TikTok video. Do you know any good rhymes for toilet paper?
When you open an Ancestry.com account, you'll finally realize why your great-grandfather was named after today's date.
Someone to raise my pants barn while watching 1985's Witness. If you let the gummy bears out of the oven, you'll never see your toes again.
I've inserted a silent W somewhere in your psyche, and I can tell you with certainty that it's not in the...
My great-grandmother's Zoom tutorial on how to lubricate a German gurney just reached 1,900 lawsuits.
If you're strained after this, it's only because my digestive system cannot tolerate any solids.
Looks like we can put the men in Turkmenistan. Frosting will be necessary.
Hey Siri, tell me again about the time Agent Johnson from the NSA wept openly over a carbon copy of my Verizon bill.
I assume those who say the human soul is intangible aren't as handsy as I am.
You may enter a time travel paradox in which you end up becoming your own grandpa. You'll also become the first person that you had sex with, which is not as much of a paradox because it's the same guy.
Join me in the Vapotorium, aka Dano's car.
Yeah, by the way, did you see that Timothy Oliphant was added to season 2 of Mandalorian?
Yeah, that casting is fucking justified.
We're on a mission from God.
All right, slackers, that's it for us. Thanks for tuning in to New Brain 15-year reunion. Stay safe out there. Wear a mask when you're heading to 7-Eleven for a refreshing Slurpee. And be excellent to each other.
You can cough in his face.